You're 3 minutes away from a reality you've never lived before. 3 minutes from stepping into the version of you that already exists. Waiting. And the only thing standing in the way is the frequency you're holding right now. That might sound like a poetic exaggeration, but it's not. It's physics. It's measurable. And it's happening right now, whether you believe it or not. Because in the quantum world, reality isn't a fixed stage set, waiting for you to arrive. It's a living ocean of possibilities, countless potential versions of your life existing all at once. Every choice, every thought, every micro shift in your awareness sends a ripple through that ocean. And from that ripple, a single version of reality rises to meet you. This is the observer effect in action. Scientists first saw it in the famous double-slit experiment. Tiny particles, building blocks of everything you see, behaved like a wave, spread across every possible path, until someone looked. And the instant observation happened. The wave collapsed into one point, one location, one outcome. What does that mean for you? It means you're not just in reality. You're sculpting it moment by moment through what you notice, what you believe, and what you expect. Your awareness is not passive. It's the active ingredient that turns potential into the physical. Think about that. Before you recognize an opportunity, it's just one of billions of invisible possibilities. But the moment your mind locks onto it, you collapse it into something real, solid, undeniable. Your focus is not just mental, it's architectural. It tells the quantum field, this is the version of reality I'm willing to experience. Here's the part most people miss. The field doesn't care about what you wish for in passing. It responds to what you are, not the face you show others, not the affirmations you repeat without feeling, but the frequency you actually hold deep in your nervous system, in your breath, in the space between heartbeats. You could be saying, I want abundance. But if your body is vibrating in scarcity, tight chest, shallow breathing, mind scanning for lack, the field listens to that signal instead, and reality mirrors it back to you. You've felt this before. The days when everything clicks into place, when calls come at the perfect moment, when synchronicities pop like cosmic breadcrumbs leading you forward. That's not luck. That's coherence. That's you locking into a frequency that already contains the reality you desire. And the most powerful part? It doesn't take years. It doesn't even take hours. In the quantum realm, change is instant. It's your alignment that needs the 3 minutes. 3 minutes to step fully into the feeling of the reality you choose. Without doubt, without contradiction, without hesitation. In those 3 minutes, you're not hoping it will happen. You're knowing it's already here. You're holding the vibration long enough for the wave to collapse, for the potential to become the tangible. And once that shift happens inside, the outside has no choice but to follow. Because here's the truth. It's not enough to know the science. You have to feel the connection. You have to understand, deep in your bones, that your mind is not separate from the reality you're living in. It is the blueprint reality is following. Every thought you think is a frequency. Every emotion you allow is a broadcast. Your beliefs are not invisible, they are architectural instructions to the quantum field. Your nervous system is a transmitter. Your attention is a sculptor. Your body, your breath, your inner dialogue, they are constantly shaping what you walk into next. You felt this before without realizing it. Remember the mornings when you woke up already dreading the day? When one small frustration snowballed into a dozen? That wasn't bad luck. No, it was coherence. Coherence with a frequency you didn't choose consciously, but you fed it with every thought, every reaction, every unspoken assumption that the day would be heavy. Now remember the other days, the ones where you woke up inspired, where everything felt like it was conspiring for you instead of against you. It's the same mechanism. The field was simply responding to a different broadcast. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a participant in creation. And the most important tool you have is your state of being. Right now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, not when everything finally works out. Now, your mind is the lens through which the field collapses into form. If that lens is clouded by fear, doubt, resentment, you'll keep collapsing versions of reality that match those vibrations. If that lens is polished with trust, clarity, and emotional alignment, the reality that shows up will feel like it was hand-picked for you. The connection is intimate. You are not in the universe, passively floating through space. The universe is in you, responding to every micro-adjustment in your energy. That's why the small shifts matter. The single deep breath that brings your heart rate down. The pause before reacting in anger. The decision to reach for a thought that feels even slightly better. These aren't just mood boosters, they are frequency recalibration. They tell the quantum field, we're tuning to a new station now. And once you do, reality rearranges to match the new broadcast. Here's what that means. When you feel trapped, the first move isn't to change the world, it's to change the signal you're sending to it. You don't need the evidence first. You create the evidence by broadcasting the frequency before it shows up in matter. That's why the next part is so critical. Because most people never make this shift, not because they can't, but because they fall into a trap that keeps them broadcasting the same reality over and over, even when they think they're changing. Here's the trap, and almost everyone you know is caught in it. It's the belief that you have to wait for reality to change before you can feel different. You think you need the job offer before you feel secure. You think you need the relationship before you feel loved. You think you need the money before you feel free. And here's the heartbreaking part. That waiting posture is the very thing keeping the new reality away. Because the quantum field isn't responding to your wish list. It's responding to the frequency you are broadcasting right now. If your signal says, I'm still lacking, then all you can collapse from the wave of possibilities are more versions of reality where you remain lacking. That's the loop. That's the trap. You feel empty because you don't have the thing. And because you feel empty, you keep telling the field you're not the version of you who has it. So the field, obedient as always, keeps returning the same reflection. And you might dress it up with affirmations. You might tell yourself, I'm abundant. I'm abundant. I'm abundant. But if those words are sitting on top of a nervous system that's vibrating fear, you're not shifting anything. The field isn't fooled by what you say. It listens to what you are. This is why you see people grind for years, do all the right things, follow every self-help formula, and still end up feeling like they're pushing a boulder uphill. They never left the frequency of their old reality. They tried to drag their old state into a new timeline. And it doesn't work like that. Because here's the thing. You can't carry the vibration of, I'm not there yet, into the reality where you are there. You have to step into that frequency before it shows up in form. That's the paradox. That's the part the logical mind hates. But the quantum field demands it. And it's sneaky. Even when you think you're acting as if, there's often a subtle undertone of waiting. You check the bank account to see if the shift is working. You scan for signs that it's almost here. But the moment you do that, you confirm you're still in the reality where it hasn't happened yet. And so you get more of the same. The people who master reality shifts know this. You have to drop the stopwatch. You have to stop asking when, and start being the answer to your own question. It's not about pretending forever. It's about becoming so internally aligned that the outer reflection has no choice but to match you. Like a mirror, you don't wait for it to smile first. You smile, and the image follows. But because the mind has been trained to measure progress through external proof, most people keep scanning for the change instead of embodying it. And they don't realize they're locking themselves into the very reality they're trying to leave. That's why you need a bridge, something to break the loop, something to pull you out of the old broadcast and drop you directly into the signal of the reality you actually want. And that's where the next piece comes in. The part of the shift that isn't about logic or effort, but about imagery so strong, it bypasses resistance and takes you straight into alignment. Think of it like this. Your reality is a radio. Not the shiny modern kind with digital screens and perfect reception, but an old analog tuner with a dial you can feel beneath your fingertips. Right now, you're tuned to a station. You might not like the music playing. Maybe it's static-filled. Maybe it's full of songs that don't match your mood. But here's the thing. You can't yell at the radio to change the song. You can't beg it. You can't wait for it to decide to play something better. The only way to hear a different song is to turn the dial. And in that moment, you're not creating the new station. It was always there. You just weren't tuned to it. It was playing all along in the invisible airwaves around you, waiting for you to align your frequency with it. This is your life in the quantum field. Every version of you, the wealthy you, the loved you, the healed you, is already broadcasting right now on its own channel in the spectrum of possibility. You don't have to build it from scratch. You only have to tune into it. And tuning in isn't about straining, it's about resonance. You don't force a radio to play the station you want. You align it with the frequency, and the music comes through on its own. Imagine walking into a room filled with mirrors. Each mirror shows a different version of you, one tired and small, one vibrant and powerful, one living the life you dream about. The mirrors are all equally real, but you only get to step into the one you focus on. The more you stare into the tired version, the more that reality becomes the one you live. But the moment you shift your gaze and fix your eyes on the empowered version, the glass melts, and you're standing in that world. That's what the 3-minute shift is. It's not about fixing the old song or arguing with the reflection you don't like. It's about choosing a different broadcast and holding it steady until the field locks you in. And the beauty of it? No one can keep you from turning the dial. Not your past, not your circumstances, not even the voice in your head that says it's too late. The frequency is already there. It's been waiting for you. I knew someone once who was stuck in a reality that felt like a locked room. Let's call her Elena. Every month, the bills were a little heavier, the stress a little thicker in the air. She had this quiet, unspoken belief that life just worked against her. No matter how hard she tried, the numbers never added up. One day, she came across this very idea that reality is a frequency and that she was the one holding the dial. At first, she resisted. It sounded too easy, almost naive. But the truth is, she was already exhausted from doing things the hard way, so she tried something different. For 3 minutes a day, only 3, she stepped into the frequency of the version of herself who already had everything she needed. She didn't just think it. She let her body feel the relief, the ease of paying every bill without worry, the joy of checking her account and seeing overflow instead of scarcity. She'd close her eyes, breathe in that reality as if it were air, and let the sensation of enough wash through her muscles, her breath, her heartbeat. No checking the clock, no wondering if it would work. Just 3 minutes of being her future self, now. And something subtle started happening. She noticed she no longer flinched when money came up in conversation. She began making decisions from a place of trust instead of fear. Opportunities she used to scroll past without noticing suddenly caught her attention. It wasn't that life had magically changed overnight. It was that she had shifted stations. She was tuned to the frequency of abundance, and the outer world began rearranging to match it. Within a month, she landed a freelance contract that doubled her income without doubling her hours. And when I asked her about it later, she just smiled and said, "It was like the version of me who already had it finally let me in." That's the point. You don't have to fight for the new reality. You don't have to chase it down. You align with it. And when you do, it can find you. Here's why Elena's 3-minute practice changed everything. It wasn't magic. It was law, quantum law. The kind that doesn't bend for willpower, but moves instantly for alignment. Principle 1. Energy precedes matter. In the Newtonian world, you're taught to believe matter comes first. You see it, then you respond. But in the quantum world, it's reversed. Your frequency sets the stage. Your inner state is the blueprint, and the physical simply fills in the outline. Change the energy, and the matter must follow. Principle 2. The field mirrors coherence, not chaos. When your thoughts, emotions, and body are in disagreement, you send mixed signals to the field. One part of you says, "I want abundance," but another part is rehearsing the fear of losing everything. That contradiction keeps you stuck in static. The moment all parts of you broadcast the same signal, you lock onto the station where that reality already exists. Principle 3. The collapse is instant, but your mind lags. The moment you align, the wave collapses into the reality you've tuned into. But your mind, trained in time and cause and effect, may not see the shift until the physical catches up. This is why patience in trust is critical, not passive waiting, but active being. Principle 4. The field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. Wanting is the frequency of, "I don't have it yet." Being is the frequency of, "It's already mine." Then, the more you rehearse the feeling of having it now, the faster the field reflects it back. Principle 5. Attention is the selector. Infinite versions of reality are available at all times, but you can only experience the one you choose to collapse. Your focus is the knife that slices the wave of possibilities into the single outcome you step into. If you keep focusing on the problem, you keep collapsing the version of reality where it stays a problem. Shift your attention, and you shift your world. These principles aren't philosophy. They're the operating system of reality. They don't require belief, only application. And when you understand them, when you live them, you stop being a passenger in your own life and start steering the current. The truth is, you've been collapsing realities your entire life. Every coincidence, every pattern, every repeated scenario. It's all been a reflection of the signal you've been sending. The difference now is that you're aware. You can choose deliberately. And once you choose deliberately, there's no going back to living unconsciously. Here's your practice. Right here, right now. You don't need a special room. You don't need candles, crystals, or a perfect mood. You just need 3 minutes and the willingness to fully step into the reality you choose. Close your eyes. Feel the ground under you, the air touching your skin. Let your breath slow. In through the nose. Hold. Out through the mouth. Again and again until your heartbeat finds its rhythm. Now see the version of you who already has it. Not as a dream, but as if you just woke up inside that life. Look around. Where are you? What does it smell like? What's the light doing in the room? Hear the sounds. Feel the texture of your clothes, the weight in your pockets, the way your body moves when you're not carrying that old fear. Breathe as if you are breathing that air. Move as if you are already that person. Let every inhale say, I'm here. Let every exhale release the last fragments of, I'm not there yet. For these 3 minutes, there is no gap between you and the reality you desire. There is no someday. There is only now. Only this frequency. Only this alignment. And when the 3 minutes end, don't step out of it. Carry it into the next moment, into the next conversation, into the next choice you make. This is how the dial stays turned. This is how the music keeps playing. Here's what you need to know. You don't have to earn this reality. You don't have to beg for it. You only have to become it. Because the moment you step into the vibration of the life you desire, you're no longer chasing it. It's chasing you. Opportunities you once strained to reach start finding their way to your doorstep. People who resonate with your new frequency begin appearing without you forcing it. The how starts arranging itself, because the who is already here. And you'll notice something else. The old reality stops having power over you. The noise, the scarcity, the doubt, they fade like background static you no longer tune into. You don't waste time proving yourself to the old station, because you're already dancing to a new song. This isn't luck. It's alignment. It's physics. And it's available to you every time you choose to hold that frequency, long enough for the field to recognize it as truth. From this point forward, you are not becoming the person you want to be. You are that person, and reality is simply catching up. If you're ready to shift, don't wait for the right time. This is the right time. 3 minutes can change the next 3 years. Start now. Hold the frequency. Live as if it's already here, because in the field, it is. And if this truth hits you, push it forward. Like this video, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who's ready to turn their own dial. The shift doesn't happen later. It happens the moment you choose it. So choose it, right now.